Ellas. Ooh, look at my hair. Look at my face. Look at me. Hear me? I am heading home after a long day, night, whatever you want to call it, of just being tired. But something hit me today, and it hit me on 2 different occasions. So I said, God wants me to say this and say it and share it. So I'm gonna try to keep it short and simple. Pretty much 2 things happened to me today. Ooh, what a shining light. 2 things happened to me today. First thing was, I wear these pants to work. It's gonna start off so weird, but makes so much sense later. I wear these pants to work, and these pants, they have like you tie the top and the strings are loose, and it always frustrates me because every time I tie it, there's always one string that's longer than the other, and that string pulls, and then it loosens my pants, that I gotta pull out my pants. It's so frustrating. So finally, I figured out the solution to it, but because it was happening for so long, I became paranoid that it was gonna continue to happen again and again. So every minute I'm looking down at my pants, looking down at my pants, looking down at my pants, and then something hit me. But I said, no, I can't think about this now, because usually what happens as to why a lot of the time I don't get my videos out is because something, a revelation will be given to me at work or while I'm driving home, which driving home is not the best excuse, but anytime a revelation will hit me, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta make this video later, and then it passes my mind. And then I'm like, oh no, that would have been something so amazing, but I can't remember. Anyways, second thing that was confirmed to me today, this morning I went to go and get my key. My car is a push to start, and I went to go get my key fixed, and so that I didn't have to always hold the key to the button, because my car is always like, your key's dying, can you get a battery? And I just never decided to do it. I just left the problem, and I just let it go on until it got bad. So anyways, then finally I got the key fixed today, but then I still found myself putting the key to the button, not realizing it's push to start. You just get in the car and you start the car when you have a good battery. But because I was in the situation for so long, I almost became used to something that was not that wasn't the top quality. There's the revelation there. A lot of the times, we as women put ourselves in such situations that are so below our standards, because it only took me $5 to get a battery for my car key. I just had to honk somebody who's in the middle of the road. Don't take that lesson. Anyways, but I literally could have just paid $5 months ago, but I just didn't care. And I was just like, oh, whatever, I can just keep putting it to the key. But when I started to realize I was leaving my car unlocked all the time, and you know, I was leaving pretty much my valuables and my belongings just out in the open and vulnerable like that, I decided, you know, it's actually time for me to go and get my key fixed. But I was in such a standard of low for me that it almost became natural that I was making accommodations for that standard. Okay, listen to me now. If you are stuck in a situation that is below you and you're trying to accommodate for that situation so that it works for you, there's a problem. You see, when you have great and you have good, you shouldn't go beneath that standard. So I knew that I had a working key. I know the privileges of having a push to start car. The point is that I don't have to worry about having to connect my key to the ignition. But because I was so okay with having to hold my key to the button, hope that it starts, can't lock my car, and giving myself such low standards, I became used to the fact that that was how it was going to be. Now finally, I came to a situation where I was able to put my time and effort into fixing the key, because I had to get up early this morning, make sure I wasn't late for work to get this key fixed. And now I got up, got the key fixed, paid my little money to fix it. It was only $5, I guess, $20, whatever, to fix it. And now the key is fine. But because I was so used to having the lower end of what I deserved, which was a working key. I deserved a working key. I pay this car bill every month. I deserve to have a key that works. I deserve to be able to hop into my car and have the privilege of not having to worry about my key, right? That's the whole luxury of push to start. You get in and you push and it starts, right? But because I was allowing myself to have below that, I became used to that and was accommodating for that. And now that I had better, I was still trying to accommodate for the bad situation. I don't know if you guys get where I'm going with this, but we need to stop allowing the things that are lower and beneath us to be something that we accommodate. If my key stops working now, right now, I would, even in the 2 minutes of my key working, I would know that that is a luxury that I need to uphold, because I deserve that. I deserve to have a working key. I deserve to have pants that don't fall down. Point blank, period. Right? So I just wanted to say to you, Ellas, that when you're in a situation, do not accommodate for the standards that you do not per se uphold to, because you're not going to uphold to something beneath you. You're going to uphold to something above and beyond, because you are a child of God, and that is the highest position you can hold in this world. I believe, more than a king, more than a queen, because as you can see, it doesn't matter if you're rich or not, you still can be unhappy. But when you're rich, not just with money, but with the spirit, you're forever filled with joy, and there's nothing that could ever come against that. So I just wanted to give that revelation. Just understand that don't accommodate for a bad situation. Never. You should always have the best of the best. You should always have what's best for you, what's great for you. Because I love when people say this, and it's so true. What we see for ourselves is not what God sees for us. We see, if we want to put it in materialistic ways, we see an Air Force One, God sees Yeezys. Okay, we see a Honda Civic 1992 and God says, no, I see you in that Range Rover. Like, I'm going to say it materialistically because I want you to understand the riches that God sees and the purpose that we have. But at the same time, if you're going to continue to sit in your 1992 Honda, but you got all the tools necessary to get you the Range Rover, but you're going to accommodate for the 92 because you know what? I'm used to this. I'd rather just work my 92 and put all the $10,000 I got into my account into fixing this car and still just have a 1992 Honda Civic, which I ain't hating because a Honda Civic did me well when I had one. Just saying. But I stepped up. And now I know what it feels like to have me a cute little, my little Nissan with my push to start, my decked out Bluetooth, my beautiful screen. Now I know what it feels to be in something that's better than what I had. And now that I have it, now that I'm sitting in something that's great, now that I'm sitting in something that's better than what I had before, I never want to go back. So now that I fixed my key, it's so funny. Look how these little things come up. But now that I fixed my key, do you think I want to go back to bringing my key, holding it to the button, and all of that? No. No. I'm above that now. Now, I just hop in my car and I push to start it. But, you know, let's just talk about it in real truth. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about your circle of friends. I'm even talking about some churches that you go to. I'm talking about the school people that you hang around with. I'm talking about your work environment. I'm talking about just the way the routes you take to work. Sometimes I realize every day I used to see a cemetery when I went to work. And no matter which route I took, I would always see a cemetery. And instead of me just saying, oh man, that's dead people, I hate this, da da da, I had to now change my perspective and see, you know what? This reminds me every day that I walk, that I drive by here, that I have a life. I'm not there. And I got to give God thanks for that. So not just changing your circle, your friends, your environment, but change your perspective too. With that being said, Ellas, just know that there is always something better. Always. Because we see this, but God sees that. You can't even see where the levels are, right? So just know that you can always push to be better. You can always push to do better. It's just funny because I was sitting on this all day, and I just thought to myself it was really important that I kind of get to this whole thing, because even with me, you know, stepping into this new life of being now, you know, gearing up to become a wife, I never thought that the standards of men that I was dating before couldn't touch the amazing husband that God has granted me. They can't touch him. But that's now because I understand the standard that I have for myself, and I was not going to compromise on that. So when my best was put out there, I received the best. Yeah. Just putting that out there. Ellis, I hope you guys have taken something from this message, taken something from the things that I said. But let me just put it this way. Let me just end off on this. If you choose to stay in your low, beneath your standard situation and accommodate for it, expect exactly what you deserve. Have a good night. Love you, Ellas, and I just want to remind you all, I may not be posting as much as I want to. I am getting married in June, and it is a very busy season, but anytime that God places something on my heart, I will make that promise to give it to you. And today I knew that something had to be said, because it wasn't once, but it was twice that I allowed the things that I let drag on too long in terms of, you know, knowing better and fixing it, and then accommodating for it, and then finally when it was fixed, reverting back to it. I knew that message had to be given. Bye. Good night. I said bye like 15 times, but seriously, good night.